Hey everyone, just wanted to give an update on the Trader Pro platform. So when we had the extreme dump and things got crazy out there, we had obviously a ton of alerts firing off, and we reached extremes so significantly that we're seeing RSI levels we haven't seen in a very long time. So in those kind of very unusual market environments, the signals are definitely less useful. We designed these signals in a bit more normalcy, definitely attributing for a lot of volatility, but not the kind of volatility where you're dropping 50% in a couple of days. So there was a period there where the alerts were firing off all these oversold indicators, but obviously we kept dumping down. But just wanted to report that we're back to some normalcy now, and we can see, the Bitcoin 4-hour super stack signals back to working. We had the bottom back on March 16th, 4 days ago, that fired off right before the bounce, and then we had a top on the way up that fired off before the pullback. So things settling back down again. And it's the same thing for me trading stocks right now. RSI is a much less useful indicator, and a lot of the indicators I use, I'm putting a lot less emphasis on because of such unusual market conditions. So price action and price levels are the most important thing for me, but in this instance, it does appear things are settling down and reaching back to normalcy where these signals are going to start being good again. So we'll keep an eye on the super stack alert, and I'll let you know any updates that we got coming. And at this point, the setup to be looking for would be perhaps an hourly super stack if we do keep pulling back here and get oversold. So let's get into some technical analysis. Hey everyone, checking in on the crypto space. Just had a little bit of a dump, so wanted to jump on and update things as they stand because it does look like our top of the bounce has been set. Not officially, because we have to break the low of today's candle tomorrow to start the daily consolidation to be looking for a higher low. But just the fact that we have pulled back 10% from the high of the bounce at this point is pretty convincing. Obviously a bearish reversal candlestick on the daily. So we are rejecting from daily exponential resistance, and there is still some correlation to the S&P 500. If we look at Bitcoin here, the last 5 minutes, we're starting a bounce right now. I raced to the computer and put a bid in the mid to low 5,600s, and it did not fill, so I pulled that bid. I wasn't prepared for the dump, but at this point, we are looking at weakness, and it lines up with the S&P 500 pretty well. So let's just pull that up real quick. We'll look at SPY on the 15-minute time frame. Into the end of the day, we topped out at 230, and then just lower highs and lower lows into the close, and now after hours, we're down even lower. So we pull up Bitcoin, 15-minute time frame, very similar, lower highs, lower lows, some correlation still there. So again, we have to be paying attention to that. It comes and goes just like all correlations, but Bitcoin pulling back, losing the hourly uptrend, 4-hour time frame, lost the 4-hour higher lows. On this bounce, we're going to be looking for a 4-hour lower high to be set, and our weekly inside bars are pretty much set across the board. So weekly inside bars will close in 2 days. So a lot could happen in 2 days, but anticipating we will likely see weekly inside bars, and then how we break from those will be very key. We're looking for Bitcoin to form a daily higher low. And I had some people asking me today, if the market and if oil, if we're going to keep dropping to lower lows, do you think Bitcoin's going to drop to lower lows as well? And my answer was no. I think that if those markets do drop to lower lows as they are shaping up to with bear flags all over the place, I think that means Bitcoin consolidates and looks for its daily higher low compared to 44.32. We're still well above that support level. The daily uptrend is still intact, but we have to keep in mind that when we lose the daily uptrend, the weekly lower high has then been set at that point. So we are looking for a daily higher low compared to 44.32, but bulls need more follow through on this daily uptrend to try and see this weekly inside bar break bullish next week. So looking at the dominance chart, a bull break of the Bitcoin dominance chart. Let's look at a daily. So a clear daily bull break, and it's happening in weakness. So again, that's the common pattern. Yesterday was a small green day due to strength of Bitcoin, stronger than the altcoin space, but not today. It is everybody dropping and Bitcoin just dropping less. So the weekly bounce continues for the dominance chart, and we don't have a weekly trend change as far as I'm concerned, not a clear enough pivot point. We're looking at 70.93 as the key resistance level from here. So ETH, daily rejecting from exponential resistance. So again, a lot of people, easy to feel FOMO seeing the last few days, but if you condense this down, it's not a convincing bounce. We came from 253 and we dropped all the way to 90. Yes, big old bounce to 150, but again, a lot of work to do. I will be a believer back in the bulls of this space when we see weekly trend changes. And that's not happening anytime soon. That's going to take, 2 or 4 weeks at least to set up and play out. So we're rejecting from exponential resistance. Anything above 150 cents is a daily high or low. So we're still 20% plus above that. And again, on any bounce from here, we're just looking for 4-hour lower highs to be set. And bears are going to be waiting for those 4-hour lower highs to make a play off of the top of our move and that resistance level. ETH BTC with a clear bear break. So Bitcoin continues to gain strength compared to ETH, which all that tells us again is ETH is just dropping faster on these pullbacks. And looking at the weekly time frame, we're going to look for a higher low compared to 16.9, but setting up for a weekly equilibrium on the ETH BTC chart. LTC USD daily exponential resistance, and key support is 29.17 to try and maintain the daily higher low. And again, not a very convincing bounce, just condense it down to the 2-day time frame. Have to keep this daily uptrend. Very important for confidence in the cryptocurrency space in the short term. There is not confidence in markets right now, and if the cryptocurrency space breaks the daily uptrends, it's going to join having that lack of confidence. Have to keep these daily uptrends. XRP, rejecting from exponential, must hold 12.8 for that higher low. 4-hour uptrend is lost, looking for a 4-hour lower high, even if this bounce gets followed through. BNB, topping out at exponential resistance. Anything above 844 is a daily higher low. XTZ USD, topping out at exponential resistance. We did not break the top of the initial bounce, 195. Support is 112 to maintain the higher low. Link, same story, did not break resistance of 289. Bulls must hold 156 for the higher low. Tightening range. Let's see if it's a bit better on the 12-hour. And the answer is no. Daily time frame, tightening range. So BCH, much further follow through than most bulls. Anything above 147 is a higher low. We can pull back 30% and still be holding that support. So bulls have a lot more space to work with, but topping out on the bounce for now, same as everybody else. Let's look at the 4-hour chart. Again, same thing. Due to the size of the pullback, on any bounce, I would be anticipating a 4-hour lower high is the result. And if we see a 4-hour confirmed downtrend with a lower high and lower low, that's when we know significant daily consolidation is underway. BSV USD also got a ton of follow through. Anything above 99 is a higher low. We can drop 50+% and still be in a daily uptrend. So BSV and BCH standing out as two of the names that have a significant percentage cushion to maintain the daily uptrend. And Dash, which led the way on the bull break, also a bearish reversal candlestick, but also a ton of space, $38, significantly far above that level. So everybody's doing roughly the same thing. We're all topping out on this daily bounce. We're watching for any kind of bounce recovery. Right now, a solid bounce on Bitcoin, a 2% bounce very quickly, and actually more than that, 3% plus. If we change the 5-minute trend, we zoom out to the 15. If we change the 15, we zoom out to the hourly. If we change the hourly trend, we zoom out and look for a 4-hour lower high. That's as clear as the setup is for me personally. 4-hour time frame. Keeping in mind knowing what the daily chart is doing as well. So that is where we stand. Again, weekend trading here on crypto. Obviously, we're not going to have weekend trading in the markets. So that's where crypto is free reign to do whatever they want with no correlation on the S&P 500. And the question is, can bulls keep confidence in this space if oil and SPY and markets continue to drop to lower lows? I do believe we are going to see more widespread quarantines in the US. I do believe we're going to see the stock market likely halted. I believe all planes are going to be grounded for a temporary period of time. And if Bitcoin and the crypto space can hold confidence through that, it will be notable. If not, people like me aren't going to trust jumping back in. So watching very closely, but being very patient as well, knowing that the weekly chart is not likely going to run away without me. And if it does, it'll be with huge volume giving us that signal. So I hope you're well. I hope you have a good weekend coming up. Stay safe out there. Stay smart and calm and kind. And we will see you soon. Don't forget to do good things.